Women of Reddit, what are red flags when it comes to dating men? I was told that when we started dating, I was to install a GPS program onto my cell, so he'd know where I was at all times. He flipped when I told him nope, argued that his last GF did it and that's how he caught her cheating, so it was a sign of trust. Got TF out of there immediately. Trying to isolate you from friends or family. It took me too long to realize what was happening, but this was what it was for me. At first, she tried to turn friends against me. Wasn't a big deal, because I wasn't too close to them. They were more acquaintances. The closer friends started making fun of her, so it was a joke to them. Then she started trying to turn family against me. That's where I realized she was crazy, and I needed it to be over as safely as I could for myself as possible. Laughing off or ignoring your boundaries or just things you want. Another one is believing that women are all one way. Plenty of good-natured men who don't hate women do this. I guess it's just a lack of interaction with women, but it can get to the point where they don't really see you for yourself, or you gotta prove them wrong constantly, or they may have these expectations for you you don't live up to. If they immediately start making plans for your future together, right out of the gate, you have no idea who I am. Wanting to know the password for your phone or laptop before you are ready for them to know the password, and getting more and more pushy about it. One of my biggest red flags is when men try to psychoanalyze me on the first few dates, like if they say, "Let me guess you're one of those girls who X." This is especially worse if they do it based on how I look. I've had guys try to tell me all sorts of things about myself because I was wearing black nail polish. Don't tell me who I am, dude. You just met me. You have to remind them constantly of plans you've made. They cancel last minute on plans 9 times out of 10 and act like it's no big deal, and then tell you you're being too sensitive when you begin to get frustrated. Doing nothing in public, only hanging out in private. When he starts talking about seizing the means of production. I could on and on, but I'll just say my most recent one. I met this guy on Tinder. We texted back and forth for a while. One evening I texted him telling him he'd had a rough day and felt really down. To which he then launched into how his day was worse than mine and whined intensely for half an hour, after which I never replied again. If a woman comes to you saying she is down, it's healthy to try and lift her up. It is not a pissing contest to match her down for down. Even though misery loves company, women look for someone who will comfort them, not compete with them. Saying what I can and cannot do. Let's be clear, that's my choice. If you have an opinion about it, I will absolutely have a conversation about it and consider your thoughts. I'm not unreasonable. But there is a huge difference between expressing an opinion and attempting to control. Edit. Wow. This blew up. Obviously, I could have been a bit more detailed in the original post to give some context, but for the most part you will understand what I'm saying. I just want to say, guys, there is a huge difference between communicating your feelings and attempting to control a person. If you tell a significant other that them talking to texting someone else makes you feel uncomfortable, that isn't being controlling. That's expressing a feeling and opening up communication about an issue. Don't feel badly about expressing concern. If your partner values you, they will listen, communicate, and at least attempt to compromise. One I haven't seen mentioned is the inability to respect boundaries, even small ones. It doesn't matter what it's for. No does not mean convince me. Recent example, guy kept saying how he loves to cuddle, and when can we cuddle? I told him that was way too fast and that I wanted to put a pin in that until we knew each other better. He agreed, but then he kept bringing it up. Finally I stopped things because his pushiness and neediness was making me uncomfortable. Another common example is someone trying to buy me a drink after I say I'm good. Makes me wonder A, why they want to get me drinking so badly, and B, if they don't hear no here, where else will they not hear it? Edit. As a sap, the hands down best way of dealing with this is to turn the awkwardness around on them. I said no. Why are you making it weird? 9 times out of 10 it'll stop them in their tracks, especially if they are decent people who have simply internalized the sometimes women say no when they really mean yes social malarkey. The other 10%, the interaction was probably beyond saving anyways. Reading these threads and seeing all the weird people that people are dating always feels so bad when realizing how super single I am. When they nitpick at little insignificant things and claim they are indicative of underlying issues, e.g. they don't fold their laundry and that shows they are lazy and unambitious. Apostrophe. When I was dating I noticed the guys always tried to impress me, treated me special. A lot of flattery and an essence of falsehoods. However, when I found my husband, he treated everyone special. Everyone was treated with kindness and respect. He was genuinely that kind. He went out of his way to be nice to everyone, even strangers. That's how I knew I didn't want to be with any other. Completely in love with that man for 15.5 years and counting. He is such a joy in my life. More of a universal red flag, saying I love you too early. If he is a actually guy, no matter what anyone says, he knows better, even if the person is offering just an opinion. If they are insistent, although you have clearly stated you are not interested. Get out of that car. Get out of that room. Just pick your stuff up and tell them to shove it. Stick up for yourself and what you believe, because if you don't then they will push you and take advantage. Age difference mostly when you're in your teens. I'm sure there are people who are okay, yet there are a lot of older guys who either want to be young again, or enjoy exploiting naivety, or control over someone younger and inexperienced. Comments like you should be with someone more experienced or older women are such hags. Refusing to let you keep friends of the opposite sex, especially if it's a lifelong friend that you had before you met them. If they seem to be trying out different personalities on you at first, seeing which one you respond to, this person is manipulative. Hard to explain, but they put on very different social masks to exploit people. Gay man here. If you're dating a man who seems nice and cool and charming, and then after a while you start to notice that when you say something he makes really odd, incongruous, and perplexing replies that politely but completely refute what you have said, even though it is a completely benign uncontroversial factual comment, he might have a habit of being controlling. Just something that happened to me. It starts slow but gets worse. If they shower you with attention. I don't mean being kind and thoughtful, I mean putting you on a pedestal. It's stage 1 of most abusers' playbooks. This is a general gendered thing, as I honestly think most of the relationship red flags are, but if they have health issues, mental or physical, and don't take them seriously, won't get proper treatment, or follow the proper treatment plans put in place for them by professionals, it's irresponsible and careless, and if they have that attitude about something as important as their health you can bet it carries over into other aspects of their life. Red flags don't have to show themselves at first. They can be ongoing things. Here's some things from my longest relationship, 4 years, being told what I can and cannot wear. I look quite young, and he was 9 years older than me. He told me I couldn't wear certain things because it makes me look younger and that makes him look bad. Now, I wear my Harry Potter, comic book and Marvel shirts all the time. As far as I'm concerned, I'm going to get eyed anyway. I may as well like what I'm wearing. Making the same mistakes over and over again. Get out, quickly. It doesn't matter what Yalthies say to think they aren't gonna change. Because they can't see the problem. Someone who disapproves of the things you like. I like Marvel and World of Warcraft, which some have said is weird for someone of my age and gender. If you love someone you should encourage them to do the things they like and enjoy doing. Seeing them happy should, in turn, make you happy. Regardless of what you think about their habits. Someone who needs the approval of their parents. I love my parents, but they'll support me in whatever I do. I might disappoint them from time to time, but they'd support my decision the best they could. Not try to talk you into something because it suits them better, or they think it's best, because I'm an adult, and their job is support me, not dictate my life and choice to me. If you are giving more than you are receiving in any aspect of your relationship, get out. If you are made to feel bad for being who you are, get out. If you have a problem and the other person doesn't think it's a problem, no matter how upset you are, get out. And if someone impacts your health, get out. If he won't give you a damn second, like, let's say you don't text him back for an hour, an afternoon, a work shift, or even a day, does he blow your phone up? Does he flip out and get mad? Does he get passive aggressive? Or is he wearing his big boy pants? If he won't let you pay your own way, if he's disrespectful to anyone who's not you, his kid, sibling, parent, ex, friends, any service staff, etc. If he has a train of crazy exes, fairly self-explanatory. Either he's crazy or he has a history of bad decision making that you probably don't want to be tied to. If there's one girl he can't stop talking about, this can be an ex, or a friend, or a coworker, or a celebrity, or a waifu, or whatever. It was a friend when I made this mistake. You will always be second place, even if he never actually cheats. When I said I wanted it a 2, he said, "You need to ask me for permission first." I was like, "What?" And he proceeded to say that he had a right to object, since it wasn't just my body, but our body. He was also really into working out, lifting weights and clean eating. So when I decided to join him and try those things out myself, he flipped sheet saying lifting wasn't for girls and that he liked my skinny frame. He started hiding my protein and got super upset when I started getting muscle definition. He was scared I would look manly with muscles. I was so shocked that someone who was so into fitness could be so uninformed about women and weightlifting. Needless to say, I find that it's a red flag when a guy expresses a comment implying that my body is his and that he has a say in how my body should look. When a guy's low-key manipulative or condescending, he tells you that you're always wrong, always guilts you into doing or not doing certain things, makes you feel stupid to make himself feel better, and when you call him out on it, he denies it. Examples of this being something like always questioning why you're doing something a certain way, but then tells you it's the wrong way, or that if you would have used your head, you would have done it this way, and then you tell him that it hurt your feelings to be made to feel that way, and his reply is something like, "Well, no, I didn't call you stupid or incompetent directly, did I?" Well, no, you didn't, but just because you didn't say it directly doesn't mean it wasn't implied, and therefore is still hurtful. And then acts like you're the crazy one to feel that way. Or when you tell him your plans and he doesn't directly say no, but guilts you to the point where you don't do it, equals manipulative and condescending. Stay far away this. It usually doesn't show during the honeymoon stage, which is the kicker. But when you do start to notice it, run. Small inconsistencies do it for me. Like if he says he hung out with so and so and we talk about it later and he says he just stayed home. In my experience, it's the small things that lead to bigger things. Too big of an ego, bad sense of humor, how he reacts when you disagree with him. If he ever makes you feel like you shouldn't be upset about something, or makes it seem like you are overreacting, or that you getting angry upset at him hurts his feelings, that's gaslighting in an emotionally manipulative sense. Get out. Run away. Wanting to know where you are all the time. Once had a guy I had just met blow up my phone asking where I was because I didn't respond to him. I was in class. We met maybe 3 days before this. Hard pass. Had another guy who's now one of my good friends constantly wanting to know where I was and what I was doing. If I replied I couldn't talk because I was busy, he would ask what I was doing and who I was with. Finally, when I was on a family vacation, responded, "None of your ducking business." He got a pass though, because we were 16 and he didn't realize how controlling it seemed, and when I explained it he stopped completely. He doesn't do it to girls now.